6, and 8. Be one of the first 25 callers when the special phone number appears, and you're entered into the weekly finalist drawing. You'll fly U.S. Air, the official airline of Universal Studios Florida, and stay at the Twin Towers Hotel. So get ready to go back to the future and celebrate the 25th anniversary of DC-20 WDCA-TV.
Too much of a good thing is a good thing. The new, incredibly comfortable Mercury Grand Marquis. All this on the quality of a Mercury.
Yo, it's the Michael Jordan Flight School. Learn how to increase your hang time. Learn how to dazzle defenses. Learn how to wear really great sneakers. Learn how to sign lots of autographs. Learn how to stick your tongue out during the game. Learn how to play golf during the off-season. Learn how to make the all-star team. Learn how to score.
He's looking for that breakaway pass, and Ally Afraidy had a tremendous period for the Capitals. He was rushing the puck. What's good about Ally Afraidy is that when he rushes it and he creates that 4-on-3, he was being able to get back and help up with the rush from the Pittsburgh Penguins coming at Don Beaupre.
Washington Capitals answering a first-period power play goal by Larry Murphy with one of their own in period 2.
And the Capitals controlling the puck, Kevin Hatcher. He makes the play because he doesn't pass it hard. He knows Calle Johansson's opening up for a slap shot, and he just drives it past Peter Angelo with Michael Pivaka coming across in front to create some traffic.
Wow, the guy you got to watch on every power play opportunity, really, the entire hockey game, Craig. Number 66, Mario Lemieux, who was really very much a doubtful starter before this game started, but he cashed in period 2.
He certainly did, and that's his 4th power play of the series. 3 against New Jersey, 1 against Washington tonight. And he's always a threat on the ice, and he works the puck extremely hard. They're looking for him. He's the guy they look for. Then they get traffic in front. And Mario Lemieux working around in front. They throw it back to the point, and it's just a shot. He just swings around. It's a misfired shot, and Lemieux, probably the only guy in the world that's going to score on a shot like that. The puck seems to come to a stick, and he just redirects it. Most guys, it's going to hit Beaupre or go wide. But when 66 gets the puck, it seems to find the way into the net. Sure enough, it found that far corner.
Sure made it look easy there.
He certainly did, and they were disputing the goal a little bit, but clearly it went inside the net, hit the white part that's along the bottom, and bounced out quickly. Rod Langway talked to the referee a little bit, but after a few minutes of discussion, Marwelli signified the goal, and it was definitely in.
All right, let's get a look at our DC-20 intermission stats now after 40 minutes of play. The Washington Capitals, again, trailing the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 2-1. All 3 goals have come on the power play. Pittsburgh had a total of 10 shots that period. The Capitals 8. Power plays, Pittsburgh 2 for 3. The Capitals 1 for 3. And penalties, 5 for 10 for Pittsburgh. Similarly, 5 for 10 for the Washington Capitals. Ahead, period number 3 on the road with the Capitals. You're watching Washington Capitals hockey on WDCA.
$5.99 buy you a Chi-Chi's? And if a good time's not enough, we'll throw in our queso burro, along with a beef enchilada, Mexican salad, and rice. Not to mention all the chips and salsa you can eat. It's Chi-Chi's new queso burro combo, just $5.99. The most fun you can possibly get on a 10 by 12 platter.
Chi-Chi's, a celebration of food.
I heard Hardee's is now making deli, so I came to see if there's any competition.
You have to have fresh ingredients.
Slice the meat just so.
It's a nice, big, juicy sandwich.
Okay, a big roast beef with tomatoes, lettuce, and mayo in deli talk.
I've got beef with Tommy on the grass, schmear 'em.
Chicken filet to go. Bird from Philly to Schlep to go. Slap. Turkey club to go.
Big club walking.
Let's taste. There's no better tasting sandwiches than real deli sandwiches. Only Hardee's.
This Hardee's does a good deli.
As long as there are hot summer days, the gasoline in your car may evaporate more readily, adding to summer pollution. To help clean up the air, Exxon specially formulates its high-performance gasolines for reduced evaporation during those hot summer months. All of which makes us feel pretty good. After all, we live here too. For cleaner air and high performance, just turn the key.
You think
you would get away with this?
I didn't think that she would go through with it. It was a sick game.
Something terrible happened that night.
I'm really afraid, Joyce. I mean, I don't think that we're doing the right thing.
Something everyone wanted to talk about.
You acted like she was going to say something. Something she had over you.
Something no one was telling the truth about.
It's over. You think it's over? What you want is a lie.
Mortal Thoughts, rated R. Starts Friday at select theaters.
Lee Greenwood at the Grand Ole Opry House in Nashville with VA volunteers. You can be a volunteer. Call your local VA Medical Center to find out how.
Tonight's Capitals playoff game is sponsored in part by Nissan, setting the pace. Geico, we have only one policy, safety. Rolled Gold brand pretzels, the skinny pretzel with the big fat taste. Try some today. And by C&P Telephone Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
The Penguins lead the Capitals 2-1. We're about to start the third period here in Game 1 of the Patrick Division semifinals. Now, about that little bit of a goal controversy on the Mario Lemieux power play goal. This is Mac McDermott, goal judge from Montreal. He said he really couldn't see it go in off the net, but one of the reasons why could have been the fact that in that second period, they lined his goal cage up, which they move in and out a little bit, about 6 inches too far to the left. Right now where you see the light, it normally lines right up there with the partition of the glass. That wasn't the case in the second period. He was 6 inches farther to the left. That really cut down on his vision. It has been corrected, but it does not seem like there was any real controversy, although they have now got the goal judge's positioning correct where they've had it all year long. So it's an interesting situation. Could have proved to be big in this hockey game, but apparently Dan Mariueli certainly made the right call according to replay. Now in the Adams Division final going on, Boston has tied the game up. They're in the third period. Cam Neely, a power play goal off an assist from Raymond Bourque, and the Bruins and Montreal Canadiens tied at 1 in the third period at Boston Garden. For the start of the third period here, let's go back up to Jeff and Craig. Can you believe our investigative journalist, Al Koken? He'll find the story if there's one there, and 60 minutes can't be too far away. Nice going, Al. In neutral ice, Francis has it taken away. Ridley couldn't control it. He retreats to his own line, sends it ahead, but breaking it up there. Right at center ice was Kevin Stevens. Carries it over the line. Poked away by Johansson. Back come the Capitals. Miller wrestling off one of the Penguin defenders. Leach couldn't control the bouncing puck. Recchi pokes it ahead. Francis off the wall. Leach there to break it up, and he sends it towards the net. Through the slot and out the other side. Johansson dumps back into the Pittsburgh zone. Peter Angelo making his third straight start. Tom Barrasso injured in Game 5. Expected perhaps back as early as Game 3 Sunday. Icing the call against the Capitals, and if Peter Angelo continues to play well for Pittsburgh, you wonder if Barrasso will even get back into the game.
And this young kid's been a big surprise all year. Paul Stanton stepped in, has played with Paul Coffey most of the season. Really plays well with Coffey because Coffey uses his speed. Stanton his smarts. He holds up guys, letting Coffey go back and retrieve the puck. He wasn't expected to make the team. He's a Wisconsin graduate. Last year he played in Muskegon. He's really stepped forward and had a good playoffs along with a good season.
19:11 left here in regulation time. Pittsburgh 2, the Capitals 1. On the road throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs on DC-20, we'll have every road game for you, live and exclusively. Hunter picks it up for the Capitals. Hunter sends it cross ice. Iafrate turns around his man. Sent in front. Langway there to cut off the pass from Lemieux. Poked to the corner by Beaupre. Work down the ice. This is Kristich across the line. Pavonka with him. Gets away from Coffey. Coffey all over Kristich. Sends him to the ice. We've got a delayed penalty coming. Beaupre unaware of it. But play's been halted anyway. And a holding call against Paul Coffey. The Caps will get another power play. 18:44 left to go third period. Pittsburgh by goal.
Rediscover America with Jeep. The 50th anniversary Jeep sale with discounts and cash back on Jeep Cherokee. Big savings on Jeep Wrangler.
Factory-to-dealer incentives can save you even more. The 50th anniversary Jeep sale. Don't miss it.
To your National Capital Area Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
Dmitry Kristich really into his game tonight. He's holding on to the puck, thinking he can beat the defense, and because of that, Paul Coffey's in the penalty box. A lot of players will just shoot the puck on the net, but a nifty cut-back move. He went wide, cut inside, put it between the skates of Coffey. Coffey grabs him from behind and throws him down, forcing the penalty call. But a great play by Kristich, having the knowledge and the good hand-eye coordination to pop that puck between his skates, pick it up on the other side, forcing Paul Coffey to pull him down.
As he has all night long, Trottier in deep for this critical faceoff. Caps win it as Hunter to Hatcher stepping up. Hatcher moves right in, poked off his stick. Johansson sends it ahead for Kristich. Kristich through the slot, gives to Pawonka. Right back to Johansson. To Hatcher. Back to Johansson, who has the only capital goal on the power play. Pawonka sends it. Cross ice. Hatcher drives, scores, and the Caps have tied it up with a power play goal of their own. Kevin Hatcher, unless Hunter redirected it, but the Capitals get their second power play goal and have tied it up, all 4 goals, coming with the extra man.
Well, another shot launched from the point. Dale Hunter moving to the middle. It's that one-timer pass. Johansson and Hatcher working extremely well, passing the puck together. He just blows it over the top of the shoulder, over the catching glove of Peter Angelo, which is his best area to score on, is up top. And I think the defensemen probably talk to each other between periods, say, when we're at the point, shoot it high. The forwards who are crashing to the net like Hunter, you don't like to see the puck coming high, but if you get traffic in front of Peter Angelo, it forces them down, and that high shot's going to beat him.
Johansson and Pawonka have drawn assists. The Caps have tied it up with their second power play goal at 1:37. Langway gets it ahead on the right wing, but it's poked right back behind the net. Beaupre sends it the other way. Murphy. Blocked by Ridley, who feeds to Iafrate, stepping up for Washington across the line, feeding the pass too far for Kelly Miller. Murphy works it off the boards. Recchi tied up by Ridley, who sends it behind the net for the Capitals. Hard hit by Leach on Airy. And it's Langway backpedaling inside his own zone. He gives to Iafrate, sends it away for Mike Ridley. On the right wing is Stephen Leach. This is Larry Murphy. On the wing for Roberts, Ridley gives to Johansson with a one-timer wide on the glove side. Ciccarelli for the Capitals, dumps it, cross ice, Ridley being chased by Murphy, who makes the play to Recchi. The Caps trying to keep it in and do. This is Ridley with Ciccarelli in a drive, and the knuckler goes wide on the glove side. Tippett for Ciccarelli to Ridley. Murphy steers it away. Johansson stepping up. Away goes Recchi for Stevens. Tippett has Stevens all tied up. Down the wing, this is Recchi with a shot. Late offside, actually knocked down with a high stick. Thus, the whistle being blown by linesman Finn. 17:02 left to go here in the third period in regulation time for the Civic Arena. We're knotted at 2.
We get another look at Kevin Hatcher's blast from the point, and Pawonka back to Calle Johansson. Hatcher set him up earlier, so he says, I'm going to return the favor and slide it to you, Kevin. Kevin Hatcher blasts it over top of the shoulder of Peter Angelo to knot this game at 2.
For Hatcher, his third goal of the playoffs. And this is what Terry Murray wanted, the improvement of the power play. Hatcher flipping it in the air and down the ice. Peter Angelo gives to Taglianetti off the wall. Yager takes a hit from Hunter. Hunter has it hop over his stick. Ciccarelli feeds to Hunter between the circles. Hunter couldn't control. Taglianetti turns, skates in front of his own net, turns again, goes behind the net. Caps forechecking deep in the Pittsburgh zone, and it's sent away for Yager. Looking for Lemieux, broken up by Hunter. Ciccarelli darting down the right wing, but it was poked to the opposite corner. Taglianetti being chased by Ciccarelli. Bork bumps, turns around with Ciccarelli. Hunter gives to Hatcher, and squeezing the pad shut is Peter Angelo on that drive from Kevin Hatcher.
Kevin Hatcher getting a great opportunity. A little bit of shoving and pushing around in front, but Capitals outworking their big guns, the Pittsburgh big guns, and a nice slide pass, a touch pass back to Hatcher, and he one-times it, before Mario Lemieux can get his stick on it, he has to come up, Peter Angelo has to come up with a big stop. Kevin Hatcher sneaking into the seam. As soon as he saw Hunter had a chance to pass it to him, he snuck in there and got a good shot away. What surprises me most of all, Jeff, is we haven't heard much from that big line. They scored 23 points together as a line. That Francis, Recchi, and Stevens line really haven't created a lot of offense for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight.
Well, I think that's a credit to the Capitals and their game plan, shutting them down, and they've really done the job defensively. Talking to Flyers coach Paul Holmgren yesterday, he really thinks the Capitals defense is one of the best in the entire NHL and certainly the best in the division, and the forwards are the hardest working, says Holmgren, and we're seeing evidence of that here tonight. Airy trying to get away from Lawler and down the left wing. Airy tied up by Lawler, and it's Sabrin working it the opposite way for Kyprios. To the point, Mullen's drive is blocked by the Capitals. Away comes Washington. Dump is Kyprios back on his feet, but it's the Penguins that control in their own zone. This is Samuelson stepping up. A lead pass for Mullen. He kicks it ahead deep into the Capital zone. Lawler away from Mullen. Airy bumped by Lawler down the wing. Berglund. He and Samuelson collide at center ice. Erdina dumps it in. Beaupre out of the net. Leaves there for Lawler. Lawler looking for Berglund. Overskates the puck. Mullen in. Stanton's drive deflected in front. They are storming the net in front of Beaupre, but the Caps come away and out of the zone. This is Alan May. May backhands deep into the Pittsburgh zone, then heads to the bench. Both teams change on the fly. Gordy Roberts away from Drews to center with Francis. Sends it on the wing. Recchi shot. Stick save. Beaupre. Iafrate on the wall. He's tied up, but the Caps clear to neutral ice. And it's Gordy Roberts. Bumped by Kristich. Stepping in behind on the play. Thus the offside call was Pobanka. 14:55 left to go. Here in this third period, we're tied.
Nissan started a few years ago with cold-rolled steel and a hot idea to build the best. First came the twin-turbo Z, and it was judged the best. Then the Maxim, and it was called the best as well. Now come the 1991 Sentras, and they're called the best. In fact, in the last 2 years, Nissan's new lineup has won more major awards than anyone, 17 in all. Nissan. We started out making cars. We ended up making history.
Again, a reminder to be with us here on DC 20 Friday night for a great hockey basketball twin bill at 7:30. Game 2 of this Patrick Division final between the Caps and the Penguins, live at 7:30. And right after that, it'll be the Bullets taking on the Orlando Magic from Orlando, Florida. You can join Mel Proctor and Phil Chenier as they call all the action here on WDCA TV 20 Sports. Play underway. Murphy away from Miller down the right wing. Sends it ahead here for Stevens across the line. Stevens will try to go around Iafrate. Beaupre makes the save. The net comes off its moorings, and the Caps goaltender holds on.
Well, Stevens cutting towards the net, and Beaupre has to be sharp. He has to come up with a good save. Iafrate all over Stevens. He gets a good backhander away, but the momentum of the puck and Beaupre lifting up his arm knocks the net off, forcing the face-off. Rod Langway coming back to clear out any loose pucks. If it happened to fall off Beaupre's puck, Langway was right there to scoop it away.
Washington Capitals out shooting Pittsburgh 20-18 on the scoreboard. We are tied with 14:44 left to go here in this third period. Game 1 of the Patrick Division final. Game 2 back here on DC 20 on Friday night. Then we move to Washington for the third and fourth games of the series. Sunday night at 7:05. And then next Tuesday night at 7:35. 432-0200. Operators will be standing by for the next 15 minutes. Area code 202 if you'd like to reserve your tickets for games 3 and 4. Francis and Ridley will do the honors to the left of Don Beaupre. From the draw, Stevens gets it back to the point. Right in front, Francis. Robbed by Beaupre, who got a glove on it. Ellie Miller. Tied up on the play. It is Roberts. Away from Miller. Gets it to Murphy, who sends it ahead high in the air. Glove by Langway, and then backhanded deep into the Pittsburgh zone. First back, this is Roberts. Gordy Roberts. Sends it ahead, backhanded, and down the right wing. Larry Murphy pinching in. Poked off his stick. On the near side, Stevens. Bumped by Iafrate. Ridley with Leach and Miller. Crossing the line, this is Leach on the right wing. Dropping to Iafrate, and his shot, trailing, went wide. On the far side, Johansson pinching up for the Capitals. Iafrate heads to the bench. Johansson behind the net. Murphy couldn't get anywhere. Miller pokes it away. Chased by Murphy. Murphy falls to his knees, has it in the corner, and he'll hold on to force a faceoff deep in the Pittsburgh zone.
Some hard work down low by the Capitals, working the one-on-one confrontations, getting Larry Murphy, the former Capital, getting him to cough the puck up. He's one of those guys, he scored the big power play goal for them earlier, but Francis, this line of Francis, Recchi, being shut down, and Francis gets his first real good chance of the game, and Rod Langway there just to get a piece of him. It's a shot from the point. Beaupre makes a stop, and then Kelly Miller can't find the handle. Trying to go short side. I think he wanted to get a little more wood on that. Goes short side, Peter Angelo sliding across, but he catches his blocker glove and falls behind the goal.
Craig, one game does not a series make. This is our first opportunity seeing the Penguins since the big trade made on March the 4th, but I think without Cullen and Zalapsky, the Penguins have lost a little bit of their explosiveness. Samuelson, again, and Francis are outstanding players, don't get me wrong, but they seem to lack that explosiveness we saw earlier.
Well, they lack that explosiveness, Jeff. I think you're taking one for the other. I think with Francis Samuelson, they got two players that play the defensive zones a lot better. And I think Francis, a good, tough guy to have, a good centerman. When you've got Mario Lemieux, one of the top two players in the world.
Pavaka feeds to Hatcher. Save made by Peter Angelo, and again, he stops him with a rebound save. Yager on the far board. Sends it ahead for Bork. It was too far. This is Coffey. Throwing it up in neutral ice. Poked away by Johansson, who gives to Druce, looking for Pavaka. Coffey breaks that one up. Centering pass. Nobody there. Samuelson races after it, and he dumps it into the Capital zone. Iafrate backhanding and giving to Pavaka across the line. Pavaka looking for Druce, and it hopped over his stick. All over him is Roberts. The crowd trying to get the Penguins going here. As Loney loses it, Kristich walks right in, takes the shot. Oh! And somehow Peter Angelo able to get the glove up as that puck was crossing the line. Great save. Here's Loney. Tries to move in on Beaupre, who had the angle. The rebound. Druce sending Pavaka away. Kristich is with him. Away. Pavaka for Kristich. Drop pass for Iafrate. Iafrate had it poked off his stick. Back comes Trottier with Young. And this is Roberts across the line. Sends it ahead for Trottier, and that one broken up by Lawler. Lawler looking for Iafrate. The pass just failed to connect, and it goes all the way to Peter Angelo.
Couple of good end-to-end rushes. The Penguins breaking out of their zone after Troy Loney got the puck taken away from him from Kristich. They turned it around and got a good opportunity on Beaupre.
Scott Young looking for Trottier. That one again broken up by Lawler, who backhands deep into the Pittsburgh zone. First back, this is Roberts picking it up off the wall and away from Ciccarelli. He gives to Murphy. Lead pass for Trottier. On the wing, poked off the intended stick of one of the Penguins by Dave Tippett. And Sabrin and Loney go to the corner as Beaupre holds on. They are separated, and with 11:32 left to go here in regulation time, we will step aside.
In a car accident, most adults believe they can keep a child from going through the windshield. But in a 30-mile-an-hour collision, a 30-pound child accelerates toward the windshield with the force of a 450-pound child. Try keeping that baby in your lap. Which is why Geico makes child safety seats available to its customers at cost. Geico, we have only one policy, safety.
One of the big forwards for the Penguins who hasn't seen a lot of ice time tonight, Troy Loney. He's working out there on a shift. The Capitals take advantage of him. He hasn't been out. He tries to wheel up the center, and he tries to pass across the front of the crease. It gets knocked away, and Kristich walks in alone, but he can't control the puck. He can't handle it. Goes off Peter Angelo's pad, and then he kicks it up in the air, and he stops it with his glove. Then he's coming down the other way, and he can't control the puck. He finally gets it to where he wants it, Big Mario cruising in. I'm sure he looked up and wanted to slide it to Lemieux, but he couldn't get a handle on it. Ended up shooting into Beaupre's pads.
Hunter couldn't control the pass. A neutral ice. This is Mullen. He was stepped into by Hatcher. Beaupre cradling the puck behind the net. Puts it right on a Trottier's stick. But all over Trottier is Dave Tippett. Puck squirts free to Mullen. Mullen looking in front. And Hunter there to steal and skate away for the Capitals. Hunter from center. Sends it into the Pittsburgh zone. Squeezed along the boards by Tippett. Turns away from his own teammate Cicerelli. Then backhands for Cicerelli. Cicerelli bumped along the wall. Hunter comes free. He's turned around by Coffey. Coming in to help out is Cicerelli. Turned around by Trottier. And it's Taglianetti for Pittsburgh. Sending Coffey away. The smooth skating Coffey sends it on the wing for Mullen. Right back to Coffey. Coffey lets one go. And it's wide. Iafrate picks it up off the wall. Iafrate for Trottier. Or rather for Cicerelli. Back to Iafrate. This is Coffey in the defensive zone now. Looks long for Francis. That one broken up by the Capitals. Sent ahead. And Recchi steals. Off the stick of Taglianetti. He's got to retreat back inside his own zone. Chased by Leach. Slaps it off the wall for Samuelson. Samuelson looking on the wing for Stevens. Breaking that one up was Ridley. Here's Miller as Leach breaks for the net. A shot goes wide on the stick side. Leach for Miller. Winds up. In front was Ridley, and he couldn't control the bouncing puck. Stevens has it along the wall, and he will hold for a face-off. Tickets for games 3 and 4 this exciting Patrick Division final are on sale right now. Game 3 Sunday night at 7:05. Game 4 Tuesday night at 7:35. Plenty of excellent seats available by calling phone charge right now. 202-432-0200. Operators are on duty for the next few minutes, so give them a call. 432-0200.
A lot of players talking about the big crowd they had Game 6, Jeff. When they come out on the ice, I saw it was sold out. That was a big boost to them and really helped them on their way to that 3-0 lead, and they never looked back after that. So I'm sure they're expecting that type of crowd. It can really pump up the players, and they've talked about it often. When you play in a rink that's as loud as a Cap Center, it's tough on the visiting team.
Leach in the corner. Sends it to the point to Langway, who keeps it in. Langway dumps around on the near side. Hatcher moves in. Slapped ahead, but Hatcher able to get it in deep. Pietrangelo for Stanton. Around on the wall and down the ice. Beaupre out of the net. 9:33. The clock ticking. Left in regulation time. 2-2 the score. Penguins with a 1-0 lead. Caps tied it up. Pittsburgh took a 2-1 lead. And again, the Caps have tied it up here with a power play goal. Their second of the night. And again, all 4 goals with the extra man. Miller sends Ridley away across the line. Backhands looking for Leach, but Murphy there. Larry Murphy. Ahead for Recchi. Cross ice pass. Hatcher has it inside the line. He gives to Johansson. Right back to Hatcher. Hatcher sends Tippett away. Tippett across the line. On the wing for Ridley. Drop to Johansson with a shot and a save by Pietrangelo. Gloved and carried away by Larry Murphy. With the Caps awaiting a rebound. Murphy from center. Dumping it into the Capital zone. 8:45 left now as Hunter digs it out of the corner. Sends it ahead. Knocked down by Coffey with a high stick. And that one whistled down. Coffey and Hunter come together on the far side. Coffey with that eye injury will do very little. Craig, I want to ask you a question about Paul Coffey when we return, but we will step aside with the score tied at 2.
Like you, your car has a heart, the engine. And like the human heart, it has valves where deposits can form. The right diet can make a difference. Fill up with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus. Its advanced detergent formula can unclog vital engine parts. For power and performance, get Mobil Super Unleaded Plus and drive your engine clean.
Jeff Rimmer, Craig Laughlin, and Al Koken back with you here on WDCA. Caps hockey in the playoffs, Game 1 of this Patrick Division final series. We got to look at Paul Coffey. The question, Coffey known for those patented end-to-end rushes. We know about that eye injury, and we're not seeing Coffey carry that puck from end to end. Could the visor and the eye injury be a factor along those lines?
Well, it certainly could, Jeff. When I had to wear a visor, when I broke my nose, it doesn't give you a lot of vision when you're looking down at the puck. And when he gets that head of steam up, you've got to glance down to make sure you've got the puck in your stick. And he's having problems adjusting to that. Once you wear it for a while, though, he'll be able to adjust, and you'll see those end-to-end rushes.
Behind the net, Cicerelli taps it ahead for Hunter. All over him was Coffey. And away come the Penguins. Shot wide as Beaupre comes out of the net, gives to Lawler. Flipped high in the air for John Druce at center. He knocks it down the left wing, drops a pass. Pivonka, top of the circle with a shot, and it's wide with Pietrangelo out to cut off the angle. Lawler backhands behind the net. Pivonka there to tap it away. This is Kristich. Muscled along the wall by Trottier. Pivonka comes in to help out. He is bumped, but Kristich gets it right back. Sends it to Lawler at the right point. Through traffic, and it was deflected by Coffey and wide. Scott Young works to the point, but not out. Sabrin sends it in front. Comes to Kristich on the near side. Away from Trottier. Gives to Pivonka. Looking for Sabrin, but controlling is Coffey. He finds Trottier, and it's Scott Young sending it ahead. Waller for Sabrin. Off the wall, broken up there by Scott Young and down the right wing. Lemieux's on the left. Here's Young throwing it in front for Lemieux, but it was behind him. And back comes Stephen Leach. Leach down the right wing across the line. Lets one go wide of Pietrangelo. Ends up all the way back to neutral ice. Langway cuts it off and sends it in across the line. One of the linesmen, Collins, gets hit in the rear end, and that one smarts. Offside the call as Collins got it on the backside. 6:56 left in regulation time. We're tied.
Shine the lights on you, shine the lights on me. Keep your Bud Light shining for everyone to see. Shine the lights on this, shine the lights on that. Outshining all the others is where Bud Light's at.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never lets you down.
You can taste it, you can feel it. You know you got it right. Everything else is just a light. Keep your Bud.
You're watching Washington Capitals hockey on WDCA TV.
You're watching DC 20, WDCA TV in Washington, D.C.
Play underway. This is Yager. Away from Tippett. Couldn't control the bouncing puck. Now picks it right back up. Bumped along the near wall. Hunter tapping it ahead. Cicerelli turned around by Samuelson. Trying to dig it free is Yager, who does. At center, the backhand pass cross ice. Picked up by Tippett, who tries to send Hunter away. And that one just failed to click. But it was called on the icing with the faceoff now coming down into the Capital zone to the left of Don Beaupre.
Get a look at Ulf Samuelson coming over in that Hartford trade March 4th. He's really added a new dimension. He's an abrasive guy. He's a linebacker with skates. He really controls his zone. Anytime he's out on the ice, he finishes his check. He likes to get his stick up. He likes to pester and bug you to try to take a whack at him, so you're going to end up in the penalty box.
Well, one thing the Penguins wanted to do was add some size to their blue line core, and that they did with the acquisition of Samuelson and Grant Jennings in that trade, along with Ron Francis. You talk about the Capitals' twin towers. Well, with Samuelson and Jennings, when he is healthy, the former Capital, by the way, why, they do have some size on the line.
And when a lot of people, including myself, think of Samuelson, we just think of him as that type of banger, aggressive defenseman. The kid's got pretty good talent. He moves the puck extremely well. One of his best assets is his skating. He's hard to knock off the puck, and when he does get it, he knows what to do with it.
Does he fit into the Don Cherry mold?
I'd say so. He's that type of hockey player. Where he moves the puck, he takes the man. He's going to not afraid to initiate that contact.
From the faceoff, Francis tries to kick it back to his defense, but the Caps clear the zone. Sent right back in by Roberts. Langway behind the Capitals net. 6:17 left to go regulation time. Iafrate gives to Tippett. Cicerelli on the right, takes the pass in deep. Tries to send it back into the slot. Hunter looking in front. That one broken up by the Penguins. Roberts, long lead pass for Francis with Stevens. Stevens on the right wing. Tries to get away from Langway, who steals. Stevens comes out of the corner, sends it in front, and it's Iafrate skating back for the Capitals with a burst of speed. Iafrate sends it on the wing to Hunter. Tries to get away from Murphy. Cicerelli cuts it off a drive, and Pietrangelo the stick save. Murphy pokes it away. Right back to Cicerelli. Cicerelli looking for Johansson, finds him. It's off his skate to Hatcher at the point. His shot through traffic blocked by Gordy Roberts. Roberts back to center. Dumps it in, heads to the bench. Penguins change on the fly. Cap's getting some fresh legs on. 5:25 in the clock ticking. It's Johansson. A lead pass who was behind Kelly Miller, and Coffey sends it to Samuelson, who feeds it down the right wing. Miller carries in over the line, only to lose it to Lemieux. Lemieux for Bork. This guy's got some speed. Bork tied up on the play by Miller, and Lemieux steps in across the line. Lemieux puts the brakes on. He's tied up by Hatcher, two of the bigger men in the National Hockey League. Miller for Leach. Coffey sends it back into his zone, and it's Samuelson beating it down the wing. Leach intercepts that one. Ridley sidesteps a check, but it was poked off his stick. Kristich keeps it in for the Capitals. He's bumped by Bork. Kristich from the corner. Feeds ahead here for Ridley behind the net, who sidesteps a check. That is hit hard by Samuelson behind the net. Here's Kristich in front. Feeding to Iafrate, pinching in. Iafrate walks in front, scores! Al Iafrate, and the Caps take the lead.
Well, this guy's been the best Capital by far all night. He's jumping up in the play. He's doing it all out there. Now he gets a goal, and it's a big goal for the Washington Capitals. 4:29 left. Al Iafrate jumps in. Lemieux trying to do the sprawling save. Al Iafrate knows that's coming, pulls it around Lemieux, snaps it home past Pietrangelo.
That is the first even-strength goal of the hockey game, and Iafrate's first of the playoffs, and it couldn't be a bigger one. Kristich and Ridley draw assists at 15:31. And Iafrate leading the Capitals coming into the series at a +5.
Another angle. Kristich trying to fire it across the crease, but he gets picked off going for Stephen Leach. Instead, it ends up on the stick of Al Iafrate, and he walks in and snaps it 5-hole. The referee went over to him. The Capitals late on the line change, taking their time. The referee says, Al Iafrate, get back on the ice. So he moved back into his position. When he wanted a rest, now you'll see Kevin Hatcher come out and replace him.
Kristich and Ridley draw the assist at 15:31. The Iafrate goal, his first, has given the Capitals a 3-2 lead. Beaupre loves it. Gets it to Lawler. Slapped off the board. Bruce couldn't control. Dumped behind the Washington net. Beaupre for Hatcher. To Kristich for Pivonka, who overskates, and it's Kristich. Back to center. Crosses the line. Tries to thread the needle with a pass for Pivonka. It was too deep. Pivonka bumps with Murphy. Murphy trying to kick it ahead, but Bruce is there to cut it off. He sends it in front for Kristich, who walks in. Fires the shot. Pietrangelo the save, the rebound. And John Bruce couldn't get a handle on it. Airy sends Mullen away from center. Dumped right on. Loved by Beaupre and steered to the corner for Langway. Off the wall, Pivonka couldn't control. It's down the ice. First back, Taglianetti. Icing's been waved on, much to the disappointment of the crowd here at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. This is Beaupre for Langway. Off the boards, too far for Tippett. Kept in by Pittsburgh. Right back to Langway. He's bumped by Francis. Recchi comes out of the corner. Recchi tied up by Pivonka. Sent in front, but Iafrate was there, and he sends it off the wall and down the ice. This time, the Capitals are called for icing. 3:02 left to go in the third period. The Capitals on DC 20, leading by a goal.
No takeoffs, no landings. Amtrak's Metroliner service, New York City, a glide away. Civilized, spacious, productive, private phones, hourly departures, first class available. The fast track to New York, Amtrak's Metroliner service. The much more civilized shopping.
Jeff Emmer, Craig Laughlin, and Al Koken back here on DC 20 with 3 minutes and 2 seconds left to go here in this third period.